Have you ever wondered why, in the same situation, one person can remain calm while another loses control, feeling stressed and frustrated? In fact, the answer was discovered by Stoic philosophers over 2,000 years ago. Stoicism isn't just an ancient philosophy, it's a practical toolkit for living more peacefully, proactively, and happily. Imagine a typical day. You're stuck in rush hour traffic, frustration rising, or you scroll through social media and come across a negative comment that irritates you. These situations test everyone's calm and mood, but Stoicism offers a different perspective. Instead of letting factors beyond your control dominate your mind, you can learn to maintain inner peace and focus on what truly matters. In this video, we'll explore the core principles of Stoicism, timeless lessons that not only change the way you think, but also shape the way you live. If you're ready to turn challenges into opportunities, subscribe to the channel, hit like, and watch until the end to fully grasp these life-changing lessons. The first principle is to focus on what you can control. Imagine you're rushing to work and get stuck in traffic. You could let anger take over, honk your horn, or lash out at other drivers. But that only increases stress and solves nothing. Instead, you can take a deep breath, accept the situation, and use that time to listen to a podcast, an audiobook, or enjoy some music. The situation hasn't changed, but your response has. Your mind feels calmer, stress decreases, and you can continue your day with renewed energy. A simple way to practice this is to list the things you can control during the day and the things you cannot. Focus all your energy on what is within your power. A daily affirmation to remind yourself is, I control my reactions. I choose calmness, focus, and proactivity. With regular practice, you will notice a lighter mind, reduced stress, and an improved ability to make clear, thoughtful decisions. The second principle in Stoicism is to turn obstacles into opportunities. Have you ever wondered why, faced with the same difficulty, one person remains calm while another loses patience, feels frustrated, or gives up? Stoicism teaches that challenges are not enemies but silent teachers, always present, waiting for us to learn. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This suggests that the obstacle itself, if perceived correctly, can lead you to a path of growth that you wouldn't see if everything went smoothly. In relationships, challenges hold similar value. An argument or a misunderstanding that seems negative can actually be a lesson in patience, empathy, and wise behavior. If you face conflicts with curiosity and a willingness to learn, rather than simply feeling frustrated or blaming others, you'll discover your own strength in maintaining inner peace and resolving issues wisely. Stoicism also reminds us that how you perceive challenges is the determining factor. Carl Jung once said, "What you resist persists." When you resist an obstacle, you give it more power. But if you accept it and learn from it, you transform it into motivation. Every challenge, whether a work failure, a disagreement with a colleague, or an unexpected life situation, can become material for developing wisdom, resilience, and adaptability. And most importantly, this isn't just a theoretical lesson. You can practice by changing how you view obstacles. When facing a difficulty, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask yourself, "What can I learn from this? How can I become stronger because of it?" A daily affirmation to remind yourself is, every obstacle is an opportunity for me to learn, grow, and strengthen my inner resilience. By accepting challenges as an essential part of the journey, each difficulty becomes both a measure and a stepping stone toward greater proactivity, confidence, and personal growth in life. The third principle Stoicism teaches us is to live in the present, fully embracing each moment of life. Often our minds get carried away by worries about the future or regrets about the past. We forget that true happiness can only be found in the present, in the experiences happening around us right now. Marcus Aurelius once reminded us, "Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment." Living in the present doesn't mean forgetting the future or the past. It means learning to find balance. You can still learn from the past and plan for the future, but without letting those thoughts dominate your mind and cause you to miss the present. Seneca once said that true happiness is enjoying the present without relying on the future. When you understand this, every moment becomes precious, every action meaningful, and your mind is no longer stressed by things beyond your control. Practicing living in the present can start with small daily actions. When eating, savor each flavor. When walking, pay attention to the feeling of each step. When having a conversation, listen fully without thinking ahead to respond. These seemingly simple actions help train your ability to focus on the present and heighten awareness of what truly matters around you. You can remind yourself daily, I fully live in this moment. The present is where I find strength and happiness. By repeating and practicing this regularly, you'll notice a lighter mind, reduced stress, and clearer decision-making. This lays the foundation for building a peaceful, happy, and proactive life in every experience. The fourth principle is self-discipline, the ability to manage your own behavior, emotions, and habits to achieve long-term goals. Many people often think of discipline as strictness, forcing themselves to live by rigid rules. But Stoicism views discipline differently. It is the strength to choose what is good for you, even when it's difficult or doesn't bring immediate satisfaction. Imagine you're trying to maintain a regular exercise routine. On a cold, rainy morning, your body wants to stay tucked in under the warm blankets. Yet you decide to get up, put on your workout clothes, and complete the session. This small action may seem simple, but it trains self-discipline, the ability to prioritize what truly matters instead of being swayed by comfort or temporary feelings. With consistent practice, you'll notice your inner strength grow and your perseverance and determination across all areas of life will improve. In modern life, self-discipline is expressed through many different actions. It can mean sticking to a workout routine, saving money instead of spending impulsively, or prioritizing important tasks rather than getting swept away by social media and temporary distractions. Each day you choose the right path, you're exercising your inner muscle, the ability to maintain determination, patience, and focus on what brings long-term value. Aristotle also emphasized that excellence and virtue are formed through habits. Discipline is not a single act, but a continuous series of actions. Every day, every hour, all aimed at long-term goals. When you consistently cultivate positive habits, choosing what is right becomes natural, and your ability to resist temptation or delay gratification increases. Carl Jung likewise highlighted that to live a whole life, you must integrate all parts of yourself, which requires self-mastery and discipline to make choices aligned with your values and goals. To practice daily discipline, you can start with small steps. Set clear goals, take one step at a time, and stay consistent. Each time you choose to do what is right rather than what is easy, you're exercising your discipline muscle. Self-discipline not only helps you achieve personal goals, but also builds a foundation for handling stress, challenges, and difficult situations in life. With regular practice, you'll find yourself more self-controlled, mentally resilient, and better able to make wise decisions. This is the key to moving closer to the life you desire. Self-discipline not only helps you achieve your goals, but also provides a solid foundation for handling pressure, challenges, and uncertainties in life. When practiced consistently, you'll notice increased confidence, greater calmness in any situation, and improved decision-making. This is the key to living a proactive, fulfilling, and meaningful life. The fifth principle is emotional resilience, also known as the ability to manage and navigate your own emotions in the face of any challenge. Every day we experience strong emotions like anger, frustration, or disappointment, and if left unchecked, these feelings can dictate our behavior and decisions, causing us to lose calmness and effectiveness in life. Stoicism teaches that emotions are not meant to be eliminated, but to be recognized, understood, and responded to wisely. Life's difficulties are opportunities to cultivate patience, resilience, and adaptability. When a situation makes you feel frustrated or disappointed, instead of reacting immediately, you can observe your emotions, identify the cause, and consider an appropriate way to respond. This is how you turn challenges into lessons, helping you grow and strengthen your mental fortitude. Holistic personal growth requires us to recognize and integrate all parts of the self. Emotional resilience is not about suppressing feelings, but practicing integration and control, transforming emotional energy into strength rather than a burden. For example, when receiving harsh criticism, instead of getting angry or feeling insecure, you can view it as an opportunity to improve your skills or behavior. With regular practice of emotional resilience, you'll find yourself calmer under pressure, less influenced by negative external forces, and better able to make wise decisions. This forms the foundation not only for overcoming challenges, but also for turning every difficulty into an opportunity to grow stronger and more resilient. The sixth principle is Memento Mori, one of the core practices of Stoicism, which means always remembering mortality in order to live more fully. It may sound a bit dark, but in reality, being aware of life's finiteness doesn't make you fearful. Instead, it helps you cherish each moment, prioritize what truly matters, and live more meaningfully. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that every day is a precious gift, and we should not waste time on trivial matters. Most of human suffering comes from imagination, not reality. We worry about the future, regret the past, and forget that the present is the only thing we truly possess. By practicing Memento Mori, you learn to channel energy from worry and regret into action. Fully enjoy the present and appreciate what you have. In practice, you can apply Memento Mori by taking a few minutes each morning or evening to reflect. How have I lived today? Am I wasting time on things that don't matter? What truly gives my life meaning? These questions help you reconnect with your core values and guide your actions toward deeper, purposeful goals. Practicing Memento Mori helps you understand that happiness doesn't lie in controlling everything around you, but in how you appreciate, choose, and live purposefully in each present moment. When you apply this principle, every action, word, and thought is guided by true values, helping you cultivate inner peace and lasting mental strength. The seventh principle on the Stoic journey is gratitude, or in other words, learning to appreciate what you have. In our busy and stressful lives, we often focus on what's missing, what we haven't achieved, or compare ourselves to others. Stoicism reminds us that true happiness comes from recognizing the value of the things around us, no matter how small, and cherishing each present moment. Epictetus advised that happiness does not depend on external circumstances, but on how we perceive and evaluate life. When we practice gratitude, every experience, good or bad, becomes a valuable lesson, contributing to our growth and inner peace. Gratitude doesn't stop at mere thoughts. It can be transformed into daily actions. Each morning or evening, you can write down 3 things you are grateful for that day, from simple things like sunshine or a meal, to successes or moments of connection with others. This habit helps rewire your brain for positive awareness, boosts your mood, and increases your resilience to life's pressures. This principle not only makes you happier, but also strengthens your ability to connect with others. When you express gratitude toward the people around you, you nurture positive relationships, helping to create a meaningful and uplifting environment. It is one of the most powerful Stoic principles, as it transforms your mind and heart into a place of peace, strength, and lasting happiness. The 8th principle in Stoic philosophy is striving for personal excellence, always aiming to become the best version of yourself. Excellence isn't just about success or social status. It's about living according to the values, standards, and principles you respect, regardless of circumstances or external pressures. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Do not waste time arguing about what a good man should be one." This statement emphasizes that action and practice are more important than theory or debate. A life well lived is one of continuous learning, self-reflection, and refinement of behavior and thinking. For example, if you fail in a project or receive negative feedback, instead of feeling discouraged, you view it as an opportunity to improve your skills, learn time management, or enhance communication. Each challenge becomes a measure and an opportunity to develop personal excellence. Excellence isn't accidental. It results from high intentions, sincere effort, and smart practice. When you choose to act according to the standards you believe are right, you are choosing the path of excellence. Even if those around you don't notice or acknowledge it, the true value lies in your persistent and purposeful self-development. Striving for personal excellence isn't about comparing yourself to others. It's a commitment to yourself. When you practice this principle consistently, you'll notice increased confidence, decisiveness, and calmness in the face of challenges. Every small step contributes to building a stronger, more resilient, and meaningful version of yourself. What Stoicism calls living according to virtue and true inner values. The ninth principle is to live authentically and honor yourself. Many people let the opinions of others dictate their behavior, words, and even thoughts. They try to please others, hide their true emotions, or live according to expectations that aren't their own. Stoicism reminds us that your true value doesn't depend on external recognition, but on staying faithful to your own principles and values. Happiness and inner peace come from being true to yourself, not from seeking social approval. What belongs to others is beyond your control, so don't let their opinions or recognition determine your self-worth. Practicing authenticity means setting boundaries, knowing when to say no, and not chasing expectations you don't genuinely believe in. A practical way to apply this is to ask yourself each day, am I living according to my values and principles today? Am I doing what I believe is right rather than trying to please others? With consistent practice, you'll develop self-respect, inner security, and lasting confidence. Living authentically and honoring yourself not only boosts your confidence, but also attracts people who are respectful and genuine into your life. When you don't pretend or hide your true nature, it becomes easier to build meaningful relationships and experience inner peace. This principle, combined with others like self-discipline, focusing on what you can control, and gratitude, creates a solid foundation for living a purposeful, fulfilling, and self-directed life. The 10th principle is to embrace change, understanding that change is inevitable in life and learning to face it proactively. Many people spend their entire lives resisting change, feeling anxious or fearful of the new and unpredictable. Stoicism teaches that the only constant in life is change itself, and the true strength lies in our ability to adapt. Clinging to the present or old habits only brings suffering when circumstances shift. Mental flexibility, acceptance of reality, and the ability to adapt are the paths to peace. Practicing acceptance of change doesn't mean being passive or giving up. It means actively observing, assessing, and acting wisely to turn life's shifts into opportunities for your own benefit. You can remind yourself daily, I accept all changes in life. I am flexible, adaptable, and turn every challenge into an opportunity to grow. By repeating and practicing this, the principle helps reduce anxiety, enhance problem-solving skills, and maintain inner peace, even as the world around you constantly changes. Accepting change not only helps you cope with major life events, but also allows you to enjoy each moment without being bound by fear or regret. When you learn to live in harmony with the flow of life, every challenge becomes a valuable lesson, and every small step contributes to building a stronger, more self-directed, and wiser version of yourself. The 11th principle in Stoicism is compassion and empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. In a world full of pressure and competition, we often focus on ourselves, overlooking what others are going through. Stoic philosophers remind us that humans are social beings, and happiness and peace cannot be separated from how we treat those around us. By helping others, we also nurture ourselves. Acts of kindness, genuine listening, sharing experiences, or encouraging those around us create a positive cycle, bringing joy, peace, and deep fulfillment. Everyone has their own reasons for their actions and emotions. Understanding and respecting this is the foundation for living harmoniously within a community. A smile, a sincere compliment, or a listening conversation can all have a powerful impact. When you put yourself in someone else's shoes, you see the bigger picture, understand their struggles and efforts, and respond and act with thoughtfulness and compassion. Compassion and empathy not only enrich your own inner life, but also create a positive environment for the community. When you treat others with understanding and genuine care, you also nurture your own growth, kindness, and inner strength. This is an essential part of living a meaningful life, helping both yourself and others to thrive. The final principle in the Stoic journey is self-reflection and self-examination. This is the process of reviewing your own behaviors, thoughts, and emotions, learning from them, and making adjustments to live in alignment with your values and goals. Marcus Aurelius, in his work Meditations, often kept daily journals to evaluate, remind, and improve himself. He believed that happiness and personal excellence largely depend on the quality of each person's thoughts and responses. Self-assessment is a way to learn from yourself and from life experiences. Life is like a play, and each person is the main actor in their own performance. Reflection is like reviewing the script in your performance. You look back at each action, recognize the right and wrong decisions, and adjust to make tomorrow better. It's not about self-blame, but about growth and self-improvement. You can keep a journal, writing down 3 things you did well today and 3 things you want to improve. Or simply sit quietly for a few minutes, asking yourself about your decisions, reactions, and emotions throughout the day. This small practice helps you live proactively rather than passively, guiding your life according to your own values and goals. Self-reflection and self-examination not only foster personal growth, but also improve your relationships and interactions with the world around you. When you understand yourself, know your strengths and weaknesses, you can respond wisely to challenges, maintain inner peace, and fully embrace each moment. This is the final step in completing the journey of applying the 12 Stoic principles to modern life. So we've explored the 12 core principles of Stoicism, guiding you step by step on how to turn challenges into opportunities, live fully in each moment, and become the strongest version of yourself. From focusing on what you can control, turning obstacles into opportunities, living in the present, cultivating self-discipline, practicing emotional resilience, remembering mortality, embracing gratitude, striving for personal excellence, living authentically and honoring your values, accepting change, showing compassion and empathy, to reflecting and examining yourself. These principles work together to help you build a life that is meaningful, peaceful, and proactive. Each principle is not just an ancient philosophy, but a practical tool for daily life. When practiced consistently, you'll notice your mind becomes calmer, your emotions better regulated, your decisions clearer, and every challenge turns into an opportunity for growth. Freed from the pressure of change or circumstances beyond your control, you'll live with self-mastery, gratitude, and adaptable resilience. Remember, true power lies in your hands. What you choose to do, how you respond, and the attitude you maintain are what determine the quality of your life. Don't wait for change to come from outside. Become the driver of your own life. Turn challenges into opportunities and live each day with purpose, values, and full joy. If you find these principles helpful, start applying them step by step, day by day. Write down the actions you will take, practice your affirmations each morning, and remind yourself that you have full control over your life. Let the principles of Stoicism guide every decision and action you take. Finally, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to receive more lessons and strategies to live fully, proactively, and meaningfully. Comment below with your affirmation for today. Share what you've learned or how you plan to apply the 12 Stoic principles in your life. Every small step is an important move toward becoming the strongest, most peaceful, and happiest version of yourself. Live not for praise, but for the greatest reason, to become your true self, whole and self-directed in every moment. This journey marks the end of the video, but it is the beginning of a new life, one where you master yourself, master your emotions, and embrace every opportunity that life offers.